So folks, friends, subscribers to the YouTube channel, Adventuring with the S.G.O.C.C. So 10 minutes after we left you last, we came upon a big intersection with two huge BLM signs giving distances and names of places. And when I say
what, a
huge,
dozen ranches?
Oh, there was a dozen ranches, camps, all kinds of stuff, at least. And we go across cattle guard and we're on a dirt road again, where we're following the arrows to what I think I remember as part of the list of the ghost town's names. So let's go see what we can see. Should be a fun road to test out your drifting.
This one was recently bladed.
You ever been drifting in a car before, brother?
Have I ever what?
You ever been drifting in a car before?
I have been drifting in a car.
Fun, huh?
Can be, you know, with somebody who knows what they're doing.
Or a loudmouth amateur. I qualify as one of those. I'm not going to say which one. Nice little camp out on the stream. Definitely not one you want to go crashing and roaring through because it was a lot rockier and deeper than I thought.
Yeah.
I don't know what that tree is right ahead of us.
Which one on the right?
Lighter green.
I think that's a cottonwood, but we'll have to get closer.
Nice looking tree.
Yep, that's cottonwood. It's like the ones down by the San Pedro River house.
Those were big trees.
They were big trees.
So I'm starting to see a little bit of the signs of diggings or earth movement.
Disruptions.
Yeah. So I think we may finally have found the right road. So
There's the Harshaw town site. Is that?
there we go. We found our first ghost town, fellas and ladies, fellettes. The Harshaw town site. And look at this. Wild horses. Wow. So the Harshaw town site, I'm looking at the horses. They're beautiful.
Oh, yeah, they are beautiful.
I think that's a pinto,
Mm-hmm.
and
It's a buck, maybe?
a sable or buck.
My wife knows
Buckskin,
the horses.
Buckskin, there you
Buckskin,
go.
yeah.
It's buckskin.
But here, right
So-
here is the actual
The Harshaw town site is all of
one building.
that.
Well, let's climb out and take a peek inside.
It's not a lot to look at, but it is the way things were done here many years ago.
So a common homesteading practice throughout the Americas, especially as they headed west, is in the absence of mortar or limestone, available limestone to break down, they'd still use bricks. Looks like they used adobe because it's literally dirt bricks, but they'll use clay, like here, as your filler. Sometimes they could get a hold of a little bit of lime and they'd mix some lime in, but clay was a common binding agent. It was rejected later on, primarily because it sucked for earthquake areas. But yeah, you got the cob style adobe bricks, so you can see the fiber still in there, and some rock, and of course the clay, and then a little bit of mortar of some kind, so maybe some pointing on the outside. What?
So no metal detectors with us. It's creeping up to the mid-90s real quick, and in looking at this old structure, I look on the ground and I find this.
Oh,
This
nice,
is
a
an old
square nail.
Square nail that clearly is from the times that this structure was built.
Quite possibly.
That's interesting. And I gotta say, you know, Every time Tim and I, and now Brother Little, go out on these adventures, it's like God is sending us at the right time, for the right moment, to find the right thing, the right artifact, in the right place.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's to quote one of my favorite metal detectors, that's a top pocket find right there. So
you can see the front. This is the more weathered side, exposed side. So they got the greater amount of decay. You got the pointing here. But if we go to this side, we actually can see the plastering. So the adobe bricks were consistent with a kind of cob that's used in other places. So it's mud and grass and rocks mixed together, dried, and then they're stacked and mortared, and they're covered with another kind of rougher, more sand ingrained outside. Yep, that eventually turns into this plaster stucco-y outside. This stuff lasts forever. And by forever, I mean obviously at least 100 years. As long as it doesn't get a lot of water contact, this stuff will last a long time. And so the roofs would often have extensive overhangs so that even when the monsoons came in, it protected this region. And then the more weathered side, which is the stuff we're going to get to here in a second, was that's the area where they'd have to replaster on a regular basis.
So see if you can zoom in on this, brother. So this is a piece of quartz. Okay, yep. Quartz is white. If you rub it, it's nice and waxy. This would be a valuable find. This has been here 100 years. I am trying to push it out of there or get it to move at all.
Nope.
And it won't. This sets like concrete. And it's fantastic.
Well, it's cheaper and it's something you can make yourself.
You know, I wonder what it would take to get a bunch of fellas together and go out in the Arizona wilds like this and build a structure like this with local materials, just sourcing everything right there. And, you know, getting 20, 25 guys together. I bet you'd take a week to build something like this.
Probably.
Even with a crew that big.
You got stones built in, and they're smeared and set in place.
Yeah, this is solid. Listen to that.
Yeah. And I mean, this probably was an entire house. And what I mean an entire house, so you got a front door here with your window, great. And the front door, but hold that real quick for me. If you zoom through. If I come inside, I've got a side door, which is on the north side. So most of these older homes would have put a wooden, I don't know why that's stone. They would have put like a wooden outcropping box, kind of a shed attached, and that's where you'd put your meat or your stocks and stuff. But my guess is that all of this here is a stone facing, most likely because this is where the chimney or the potbelly stove or something would have been.
Oh yeah, to reflect the heat.
So it would have reflected the heat, and it would have, because this stuff, any kind of severe what we would call weather exposure, that's water, excessive heating, cooling rapidly, can cause expansion, which can degrade this. The slow heating and cooling of the sun, that's not as big a deal. So this is probably where our wood stove was. But then we still have a back door, and it looks like they have a floored area, so that probably was logs. But this would have been the entire living quarter, and that might have been a back bedroom. And you've got one confirmed window. That could have been a window. You want to come on in here and I'll grab the camera from you. This right here probably could have been a window, but if it was, the box is deteriorated and disappeared. And then we got a hole here, and that could have just been something that fell out and wore out, or it could have been a pipe for a
chimney in after
yep.
that.
So then here's this back area that's got a little bit of a foundational set.
We still have the same parging we had on the outside.
It's on the north. It's on the non-weather exposed side. So you got that, and some of this looks like it's straight up concrete. So at some point they just covered what was already there with a concrete plaster. No, this is awesome.
Right on. Well, this is the Harshaw home site. So if you get to Patagonia, take Harshaw Road, which is on the west side of Patagonia, follow it up. It'll change at a paddle crossing from pavement to dirt. Keep going, and you'll find this place. And I guess there's 5, so let's find 4 more.
All right.
Look at these horses, how docile and beautiful they are.
Yeah, he's ignoring us. It's just more people.
Yeah.
All right.